People don't often think of watershed as a security issue, but when you back up the bus and you look at what are the foundational principles that our safety and security are relying upon, it's climate security, water security, food security, and ensuring that those things are adequately taken into account and planned for is an unmet challenge, I would say, in the United States. The impact or the relationship between snow, snowpack, rain, rainfall, the health of the forest, and then wildfire is direct, and it's caused loss of life and loss of property in California.
For so many people in California, they don't know where their water comes from. Every developed region of California depends on an ability to import water from distant regions of the state, the watershed.
The Sierra Nevada are very much at a turning point right now, where we have a century of land management and forest management that has fundamentally altered these mountains from what the first settlers saw.
California wasn't really settled by Europeans until the 1850s, when gold was found in California. California actually had a thriving Native American population, and they actually managed the landscape, from planting grasses to maintaining the forests by controlled burning. It was a very carefully managed landscape. So when the Europeans came, they could not imagine that the Native Americans were actually managing the landscape. They thought it was just a paradise. California has changed so much as we came, and we kind of conquered the landscape. California is a Mediterranean climate. We don't get any rain in the summertime, but that's when we grow our crops. So immediately, not only did people dam waters to use for gold prospecting, they also started damming streams so they could have agriculture over the summer, so they could actually irrigate the lands. So we changed California tremendously, and that was in a relatively short period of time. Think about going from 1850 to 2021. That's a short period of time to totally transform a landscape.
California is one of only 5 large-scale Mediterranean climates that can grow the level of healthy fruits and vegetables and nuts that we can grow. There are some crops where we supply 90% of the nation's avocados, 90% of the nation's salad certain times of year, certainly 90% of the nuts, almonds, and pistachios in particular, as well as for export. I mean, it's a very rich thing that we have to value and treasure. There are limits to it, so we're going to have to figure out how do we manage what the system can bear in more constrained times, and in light of the fact that the ecosystem also needs water, and that people need all of this. We need healthy communities, we need healthy ecosystem, we need healthy agricultural economies, and it requires, I think, people coming together, which is the piece that has always been elusive in the California water dynamic.
The food that is produced here is produced by farmers who have a social compact with the people of this state. They produce food in the most environmentally benign way possible. They produce it, and it's incredibly inexpensive. They feed the country. They produce food that people can afford to buy. If we want to be food independent, it's critically important that we continue to produce food in California, because the conditions here are just remarkable in terms of being able to produce food for the nation and the world.
I firmly believe that we have a national treasure here in the San Joaquin Valley in our capability to grow safe, affordable, nutritious food. And if we don't have a domestic food supply capability, our society will suffer. It's a foundational need, and it's something we should all be able to agree on, that providing a nourishable meal to our friends and family and neighbors is an honorable and noble thing to do.